I am the high school band director at Keokuk, Iowa, and I'm really happy to be here again.
Good. Okay, cool. I'm glad you picked this section because this is hard.
Yeah.
Why is it hard?
Well, when you get into 57, all of the crescendos, decrescendos are different.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. What else is hard about this section? And I'll tell you how I described it to them, which I think worked for us.
I don't know.
It might start with Glock and end with Spiel.
The glockenspiel
And the vibraphone.
starts. Yeah, they start at different times.
When do they? When they get to the top note,
Mm-hmm.
that's the one you're listening for.
Mm-hmm.
So you know beat 2. So every time, his name's Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Whenever Ben hits the top note, you want to make sure that your beat lines up with his.
Okay.
Bing, bong, 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 bing. So your ear is always at the glockenspiel.
Okay.
And I could tell that it wasn't because Ben would look up and then play softer. And he's like, I'm going to play as soft as I can so it looks like I'm playing, but I don't know what's happening, and it's getting softer, right? And then Colton, he's going to play even softer because he's going to try to listen to Ben. He's like, Ben's not playing. I'm going to air play, right? So you want to make sure your ear is always over there even while you're trying to make all these swells happen. Okay, let's do it again at 49. Thank you for picking this section. So keep an ear on Ben. And every now and then just look at him and be like, whew. You know? Because he's not going to look up that much. Sorry, and then I'm going to stop talking. Because he's going to be really watching every note. He doesn't want to miss one. So he'll peek up to make sure he's with you, but it's your job to make sure you're with him. Okay? Now you're listening.
Yeah.
Right? It's going a little fast. So you want it to go this fast? The answer could be yes. You're doing it.
It doesn't sound wrong in my ear.
Okay. Be a little more flowing than through the beat so it doesn't feel so jarring.
Okay.
Just be a little more flowing. And just let it go. And if you can't hear the glockenspiel, just wait for his right hand to go as far to his right as possible. Right? And then just make sure visually it's the same.
Okay.
Okay? Let's go again. Here's 49.
I noticed it.
Right, so you're wanting to go a little slower. So maybe you just start it slower. This is why this section is hard, though, because it can't be rubato. You know, and percussionists don't want it to be rubato. They just like put it in time. You know, just let me do this and let me do it in time. Which is why I would tell Ben, like, Ben, you play, and I'm going to stay with you. You know, and if he rushes, I'll be like, hey, Ben, that feels a little fast to me. Can we just hold that back a little bit? And he'll go like that. He'll go, yeah, you got it. You know, but he's in charge. Okay? You just want to make sure they are with him. Okay, here we go. Now just keep this subdivision going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Too big. Keep the wrist active and just hear these chords as they go through. describe to us, so we've identified that issue, right? We got that. Now, how do we show all of these swells that are happening?
You could follow one of the melodic lines. I'm kind of doing like a bigger picture, so we're going to the end of the last swell.
Great.
And
That's
then going
exactly
down.
right. Okay. What else?
So like we're following those low voices.
Yeah. Whatever you do here, you can't show all of that.
Right.
It's impossible, right? You would look like a schizophrenic mess. So you show parts of that and see if you can just show some growth over bar lines where you can, but the gestures have to be minimal.
Okay.
Okay? The way we describe this, and I don't know if you guys remember this, it's like the stock market, right? The stock market goes up and down, but it's always going up. At least we hope, right? So it does this, like we have dips and ups and downs, but the goal is it's always going that way. This passage is doing that crescendo. It just has all these dips and ebbs and flows as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you want to try to show the long crescendo, but your hands can show these little swells as it moves. But your torso and your face, you're thinking long term.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's the thing they never tell you when you get your first job. Start investing and leave it alone. Doesn't matter if the Dow drops 500 points in a day. It'll go right back up someday. Right? You'll get your money back. Right? Because the stock market will go like this. You know? Anyway, there's your Dave Ramsey tip for the day. Okay, let's go. Here we go. 49. It's okay, but this is a much more heady thing than it is a physical thing, right? You have to stay listening over there. As these things start to go, you every now and then show that beat 3 when they have that hit on beat 3.
Okay.
That way they know, like, oh, he is listening. He does know we're doing this over here. And then just check in around. I mentioned this earlier this morning. This was what Colonel Fettig told us on a Zoom. It was like 2 years ago during the COVID time. We Skyped him in, Zoomed him in. And he said that he had learned this from somebody else. I don't remember now who he learned it from. But he said you go around, you just check in with different players all the time. Like every couple of seconds, just check in with somebody else. And he said, he goes, one time I did that and I found like a wrong note in the second trumpet that had I not been checking in, I probably wouldn't have ever heard it. You know, because it's hard. It's to hear everything. Like, you know, so you just have to check in. Like, just listen around. Be like, oh, what's Vaughn doing over there? You know, like, oh, hi, Vaughn. And then move over and like, wonder what Vincent's doing. Wonder what Lauren's up to. Oh, hi, Cheryl. You know, you don't know their names, but it doesn't matter, right? Just listen and see like what, and see if you can hear what they're playing, right? That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That way, and then they know that you're really paying attention to them too. That's a heady thing. I'm glad you picked that spot. That's a hard spot. All right, thanks, sir. Appreciate it.